tournament why he's so potent, but just the vision game is so strong, and he's flexed to all 5 roles, actually.
I'm going to ask you a question, Jenkins. I know we're both fans of Vici, but one of the criticisms this team has gotten is that sometimes they take a bit too long to adapt to a patch, right? And right now I'm seeing group stage meta versus playoffs meta, essentially. Yeah. Do you think this is the case again, or do you think there's something magical about these picks?
No, I mean, I feel like Vici's done, in both the series that I've recently watched, well, the EG series and then this one, they're showing me that they are very quick at adapting. Okay. I thought the Omni Knight pick was kind of crazy. I also thought that they needed to pick something fresh and new against T1, and then in game 2 it's like, well, okay, that didn't work out, so that's obviously not right. And then game 2 they changed that around. They didn't pick anything too crazy. It was a bit of a different style, but it worked out. And so I feel like Vici's just what they said in the interview about having pocket picks and not having to reveal all of their heroes, it actually did turn out to be true for them.
Sure, you can say group stage meta versus playoff meta, but the reason why Tiny hasn't been that prevalent in the main event is just because he's been banned out so much. So I really do still think this is the strongest carry in the game, and if you can get your hands on him, you should.
We saw I will never forget that play because I think it's ridiculous, where Samael was alone and there were 4 heroes around him, and they decided the best option was to retreat.
To run away from him, yeah.
So Enchantress is kind of rising up a little bit throughout today, but it's because she was picked up against an Omni Knight, which makes her all the more valuable. But in terms of laning, Enchantress is incredibly strong against Monkey King because you can dispel the Jingu stacks, but also you can just get a creep and whack away at him, right? Ideally, you don't want this Monkey King to play on Tide's lane, so just have the Enchantress follow him.
Yeah, true. Even if it's a 5 position, you can still put your 5 in the off lane. Even if you're not giving a farm priority, you can do that just to like win the Monkey King lane, which would make me think that the Monkey King will probably end up being a support. But then there's another way that you could go with that, where you just say, okay, it's a core, but you're just not going to level Jingu. You're just going to play to like push out the creep wave, which I imagine would just depend on what T1 picks. Like if you're playing against Tide as Monkey King, you probably
that's an Ori hero we haven't seen in a while.
They said they had other heroes. Other teams just haven't beat their initial heroes first, right? And we're seeing the Shadow Fiend. But just to quickly touch on the Disruptor, he is such a good hero versus Tidehunter because you just drop Static Storm on him and he can't really dispel anything. He dies. And he's a very good catch. Also, if Magnus finds a good RP and Disruptor isn't in it, he can drop the Static Storm on top of him and stop the skewer back, which is always really nice, right? And obviously Disruptor, one of the best catches in the game.
Same with Horn Toss as well.
Yeah, I agree. Horn Toss is a great ability.
No, I mean like same with Horn Toss, the Static Storm point. Like, you don't need to RP anymore. You can just Horn Toss. That still takes a second. You can drop Static Storm.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the Disruptor can. You just looked at me when you said Horn Toss is all. I like Shadow Fiend. I think Shadow Fiend's an underrated hero in my opinion. Like because the minus armor right clicking build only started like a month or so in pubs prior to TI, and obviously like there was the occasional, you know, like at some point there was like drums SF, but I mean like this one where you're going for Daedalus, where you're like trying to one-shot people essentially, where you're playing with like the Dragonlance and Satanic, essentially playing like a Lena, and I think that style of SF fits this meta, and for a long time people have been doing like the Yule's Blink stuff, which it's cool and it's flashy, but it never works out. It never works out.
I agree.
Shadow Fiend is a hit or miss hero, and I know some people in particular, if they see him, they say, I will not root for this draft, right? But think about it in the bigger picture. Like right now, do they have the damage to take down Shadow Fiend? Not really, and they're gonna have to correct that, right? Because Magnus, sure, he can blink on him and skewer him back, but Tide support and Ench support aren't really going to kill him. So I think maybe we could see something like a Leshrac come out of T1 just to correct the damage issues and play on these big cooldowns. But also, because of Shadow Fiend's enjoyment of buying Silver Edge, he will enjoy Tidehunter and Enchantress, right? Right-click them, kill him. Simple as that. Batrider's that damage hero we were talking about.
I want to point out that Cuckoo was revered for ages as being one of the best Batriders in SCA, if not the best. Carl was also considered that. They have 2 of the best Batrider players in SCA in this team.
Agreed, and actually, Carl was playing Batrider when nobody was playing Batrider, right? Do you remember that DK patch? And some people would say, hey, this looks like a good Bat game, and they play it and they lose, and they said, okay, this hero is not good.
Yes, I remember that. That was rough. Yeah.
Until he got buffed a few patches later and was a monster, and then he got nerfed again. But Carl believed in the hero from the get-go, and
he won.
He would always try to go for the Batrider games whenever he could. So this is a comfort pick for sure. And he does function similarly to Leshrac in that's the damage we were talking about. They really need to fix it, but I think they still need a little bit more damage.
This is like the perfect Batrider game, and every single time I say that, I jinx it, and then the Batrider just gets horribly owned. So that was at the Animajor. This is TI. It's just maybe going to be different.
With Disruptors, not most.
Yeah, he can't.
Well, I was going to say, following that, but I don't think that's what makes Batrider good anymore. I think that's an old-fashioned way of thinking about Batrider. The way you play Batrider now is you get Boots of Travel, you get BKB second item. People don't even go for Blink Dagger anymore on Batrider oftentimes. It'll be like Octarine Core, Shiva's Guard, things like that. Even like an early refresher. And it's all about just doing tons of damage, and he's one of the few heroes. Have you ever played Tiny versus Batrider? He doesn't care that you exist. He doesn't care that you have 3,000 HP because Batrider, it doesn't matter. You need like magic resistance to deal with the Batrider, and you don't get that on a tiny carry.
True, and if you just want to look at the laning picture, just Batrider should have such an easy time versus Shadow Fiend. And you know, Monkey King support has to set up on trees and side lanes, right? That's typically how you fight the hero. You look for that good opportunity, you give vision, you drop the Wukongs, but Batrider's just going to break through all of those
It's a hard
trees.
counter. It's a hard counter. Yeah, 100%.
It functions similarly to Dawn that we've seen being picked against Monkey King, and you just throw the hammer and all the trees are gone. So looking rough for our boy Monkey King.
Yeah, this is like arguably the worst Monkey King game, at least that I've seen in this tournament, because you have the Enchantress. If you're playing a core Monkey King, you have the Enchantress to purge the Jingu, and then if you're playing a support Monkey King in the trees, you have a Batrider that's just going to break you off of the trees and kill you. And you can. The thing with Monkey King is like, the way that you play it is you sit in side lanes and then you push waves out. But Batrider builds Boots of Travels. He's literally one of the best heroes in the game at killing people who are sitting in side lanes. Like, you cannot play that style of Monkey King versus a Batrider. You can't play. It's really rough.
Last pick, Vengeful Spirit, which I'm assuming, judging by the draft, it's an off-lane Vengeful Spirit?
Yeah, so the first thing that you can see here is you swap and you save the lasso target, which is incredibly valuable. And there's also that extra minus armor that they're going for with this SF. And of course, the Tiny is going to benefit from it as well. My issue with VS is just, she's going to need to have a good start, right? But so far, like, you look at these two supports, Tide and Enchantress, and they're not that scary. They're just... Enchantress is very strong on lane, but Tide is a Ravage, basically. So she should have an okay time.
I agree with that, and I feel like that's why they're going to put Tide off lane, Mag mid, or Mag carry, and then... Just kidding. Nope. Okay, just kidding. Okay, that is a Tide support. Or Magnus support.
I don't think you want support Mag at all. Like,
Zephyr Tide.
That hero needs farm priority. Okay,
I mean,
so...
I'm just shooting, guessing.
Jenkins. So 23 Savage, he loves his Wraith King, one of the only players who really believes in this hero and asks for it. And the way that T1 have played it in this tournament, they just go for Armlet, Deso, and they just run you over, right? And if you pair it up with this Batrider, he gets his timings. And this Magnus, who's going to empower 23 Savage to hit his timing earlier, I can see them actually succeeding in doing what they want to.
Tell me the strengths of Vichis then.
The strength of, I was going to say, I really favor the T1.
No,
T1
tell me the strengths for Vici.
The strengths for Vici Gaming, well, they have a ton of minus armor and right-click damage in the late game. If the game goes late, they're definitely going to win, but I don't think it's going to go late.
That's a traditional Vici thing.
Their Roche potential is like quite high if they get a good fight somewhere, right? And Shadow Fiend can farm quickly enough to hopefully match Batrider if he doesn't get ganked, right? So Enchantress and Tide aren't the best heroes in ganking SF, so you can actually guarantee that he's going to have an okay time, right?
Well, now that we have gotten the game, we need to find out how to break this game down. And that's why we have the last word segment. And what do you need to get rid of the last word? You need a purge.
We'll ไปดูในเกมเลยแล้วกันเราจะดับกันเสร็จละ
เกมที่ดีเป็นเกมที่ดี
Oh, this'll work. Oh, this'll work.
人生有梦，各自精彩。
30 seconds to battle!
Okay.
Let's get this fight started!
BMW Red Bull นี่มีอะไรบ้างเนี่ย
Gotcha!
Enchanted โคตรสวยอ่ะอ้าวอะไรวะเนี่ย
Denied.
ไปดิ น่าจะได้ไม่ได้
But the Dire's top tower is under attack! You're not getting what you came for. No goal for you!
มันอยู่ที่ว่าใครจะเปิดก่อนนะ แผนแมกนัตแบทลากเข้าบ้านเนี่ย
My gratitude.
ไม่รู้ว่าเกมนี้มัน
Radiant's middle tower is taking
หนึ่ง
a
ละตอนนี้
drubbing.
หนึ่งละคนดู70,000อ่ะตอนเนี้ยโอ้โหดูเงินเนี่ยเอาวะ23ฟาเวทคิงเงินเยอะสุดตอนนี้ นี่โดนทำไป
เกมที่ดี
เอาว่ะ ช่องทวิตโดต้าคนดู2-3โอ้โหอันนี้คือดูในเกมก็70,000แล้วนะ ส่วนคนที่ดูในเว็บอีกไม่รอด
Good grief! You've been disrupted.
นกกำลังมาส่งของได้เพจบูธแล้วมั้ง
lấy tảo rồi nha
ชิ้นส่วนเพจบูธออมละเพื่อนออมละเจอ
Run off.
เอาตัวแล้วมานายังเต็มอยู่เลยอ่ะแฮนเตอร์
Radiant's top
บาด
tower is
ทีเดียว
under
ตาย
attack.
ยังไม่ได้ปาน้ำเลย
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
มังกี้อะโดดไปมา
Look, the Dire's top tower is under attack.
แค่หวาดชิว
Wait up.
Look, the Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gotcha.
lấy tảo rồi nha
Fly, my pretty. Dire's middle tower is under attack. What did you expect? Radiant's courier has been slain.
ๆพลาดน้ำมัน
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Oh. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's fortified, I see. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Who put that ground there?
ที่ช่วยให้หน่อย
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Sharks have my flesh. Radiant's top tower has been denied. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Here, Radiant's been fortified. No, mate, don't waste your time. Radiant's courier has been slain. Oh, why'd they have to go and do that? Good soil here. I could do this all day.
Heal us.
Right, ใช่ครับ
Come on, make us the good dude, young.
Might be a problem now. been denied. Preemptive flesh strings. I'll do that. Get on now. Let's so. What did you expect?
Invisibility!
Did I interrupt you?
Помогите, помогите, помогите.
Whoa! Sit firm! Rise and shine!
ไปเอาข้าวเพิ่งกลับมาเป็นไงบ้างก็เพิ่งเริ่มไม่ค่อยเดือดอะไม่ค่อยแบบฟาร์มกันเท่าส่วนใหญ่อันเนี้ยเนี่ยเพิ่งออกจากป่ามาเหมือนจะไฟกันแล้วบ้างเนี่ยเตรียมกระมงแล้วมั้งเหมือนจะไฟกันละฝั่งเขามา4 ตัว 5 ตัว
My sprites are with us.
What did you
Seven your wheel to live!
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack. Dyer's bottom tower has fallen. When Dyer's bottom tower is taking a beating. Dyer's bottom tower is under attack. Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
โอ้แตกสีนะ เงินนำมา1,000ตอนเนี้ย VG
Power.
โยโย่เนี่ยแครี่ของมีดาบเบิ้ลนะมีกำลังจะออกยิงบอลครับมีดาบเบิ้ลมีตีเร็วโยโย่
Oh, thanks a lot.
อะไรอ่ะแหลกเหรอแหลกได้ไง
Is the war over already?
เอ็มโดมิเนเตอร์ว่ะจอเป็นอะไรเนี่ยอ๋อเอ็มใหญ่แม่งน่าที่เป็นพระพลอยอีกตัวนะคอยบัฟทีมใจให้กับเด็กทีมแต่ว่าไอ้นี่ไม่ต้องมีบัฟต้นไม้มาตีได้ความเร็วเหมือนกันเงินไล่เลี่ยกันมากตอนนี้ไม่รู้ว่าอ๋อนี่ออกเป็นเดโซเลยนี่หว่าเบรกกิ้งตอนนี้เดโซมาแล้วเนี่ยครับเรียกครับเขาเข้ามาหวาดคนลึกอะดูเขาเข้ามาหวาดโอ้โหกันคลิปเกิดอันนึงหวาดบนอันนึงแรงไปมีบิงนี่มัน
The Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures, they're fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. But the Dire's top tower is under attack.
หมวกจับอะโคตรโหด
Dire's top tower has just died.
หมวกจับคลิปอะ
Radiant's bottom tower is fallen.
แม่งนัดบัฟให้นะอันนี้ก็บัฟฟาร์มเองคลิปแดงนี่ช่วยตีเร็วด้วย2ชีวิตก็ยังไม่พอนี่จะเวล12แล้วเนี่ย
Gotcha.
Gotta keep limber. But the Dire's top tower is under attack.
เพราะมาใส่ Empower ให้ตลอดเลยวะให้ตลอด
Dominating. Cast upon the tides. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Court should never part.
มันอยู่กี่นาทีวะเนี่ย25 วิ
The Dire's top tower is under attack. Illusion.
ดูแบบนี้สนุกกว่าวะปิดหมอกอีกฝั่งดูเอาถ้าจะดูฝั่งไหนแค่ว่าโปโยโย่เงินนำแล้วอ่ะโปโยโย่เงิน10,000โอ้โห ฟาร์มโคตรเร็วเนี่ยไม่ต้องมีบัฟแมกนัสนะหรือต้นไม้ฟาร์มเนี่ย
That's for all the times you stick me on the rim. Radiant's middle tower is rabid.
I know vengeful chicks rule. Also die.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
หมดแล้วป้อมหน้าหมดแล้วป้อมหน้าหายหมดแล้วตอนนี้เหลือแต่เทียร์2ไปดูอีกฝั่งบ้าง
I guess I haven't been killing enough. I'll take that. Technically, these all belong to me.
จะได้โบนัสดาเมจทั้งหมดเป็น5%ม้าป่าตัวใหญ่เหรอเฮ้ยมันปรับขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอมีบูทซิงนะบูทซิงเอาตายไป2ตัวแล้วเกือบแล้วว่ะ
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Looks like Dire's the pain for my collection.
มีความทั้งใจเอ้ยเอา เสมอ1-1อะเองว่าไงว่าตึกเกมนี้ว่าไงวะตอนนี้ฝั่ง VG ได้เปรียบมากเลยเงินนำมีโลชานด้วยโกโยโย่นี่ฟาร์มเร็วจัดเลยไม่ต้องมีบัฟของแมกนัสช่วยเลยถือต้นไม้ฟาร์มเองปังเงินเร็วมากเอ้ยฉาดมาแล้วไม่ต้องหยิบต้นไม้ใหม่แล้วเนี่ยฉาดมาแล้วเรียบร้อยตายไปก่อนแล้วตัวนี้เป็นกูทีวันเป็นทีมอดทนเก่งผมว่าสู้ได้ใช่เมื่อกี้เสมอ 1-1 นึกว่าจะจบแบบ 2-0 แล้วเมื่อกี้ดูอยู่เอ้ามีโลชันแต่เข้ามารอในบ้านเว้ยรอเพื่อนเกิดเว้นฟูตายเนี่ยลิงโดดเล่นเลยเนี่ย
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
ลิงกลับมาแก๊งตามเร็วเหมือนกันนะตัวซัพพอร์ตที่เงินเยอะสุดน่าจะเป็นนี่แหละมั้งแมงนัดเว้นฟูยังรวยกว่า นั่นคือแค่ทั้งหมดเรียบร้อยเป็นชั้น
Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
ปาไม้ไปแล้ว
Look, the Dire's top tower is under attack. Here, Radiant's been fortified. No, mate, don't waste your time. Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant's middle tower ain't radiating no more. I'll vouch for
เหมือน
that.
จะไฟแล้วตอนนี้เหมือนจะอยากไฟมาก
Look, the
แต่ว่า
Dire's
เขา
top
กลับ
tower
กัน
is under attack.
เขาพากันถอย
Dire's fortified, I see.
นกเอียงนี่ตีแรงนะนกเอียงที่เอาหมวกจับมา
Look, the Dire's top tower is under attack.
โนชั่นเหลือ1 นาทีละต้องเอาไปโยนแล้วเนี่ยล่างนี้โคตรเท่เลยล่างกระดิกสุดยอดหยิบไม้มากลายเป็นกระดูกอะเท่นะ
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
3 ที 4 ที 5 ที 6 ที
Boy, Radiant's
Deal,
bottom
hang on.
tower is fallen.
ดาเมจตอนนี้ประมาณ 400 ดาเมจ 300 บวก 95 400 ดาเมจ โอ้โหบิงวอล์กตบใครก็ช่างอะถ้าโดนไปทีคือเจ็บ
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Boy, Radiant's bottom
เหลือ
tower
1 นาทีนะเอจิตนะเวลาเข้าบ้านจับเกิดมาตายต่อ
Dire's middle tower is under
โอ้
attack.
โหชีวิตเพิ่งหมดเกิดมาอีกทีชิว
Radiant's middle barracks are fallen.
ๆตายคู่เลย
Look, the Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower ain't
Yeah,
radiating
yeah.
no more. Radiant's middle barracks
Tông
are
nghe.
under attack.
ba lẹ.
Radiant's middle barracks are
ส
fallen.
บายใจแล้วเนี่ย VG แบบ โอ้โห สบายใจมากอะ
Look, the Dire's top tower is under attack.
ใครเห็นก็ว่าวิน
Tapping your will to live.
Помогите!
ใครเห็นก็ว่าชนะตึกโอ้โห จะ30 นาทีแล้วเนี่ยปล่อยตัวเมตาสุดช่วงนี้หลุดก็ต้องเจอแบบนี้แหละใจนี่ฟาดบานพัง ไม่ออกเป็นซิลเวอร์เอดด้วยนะ ไม่ออกเป็นแบบกดสถานะนะ
Radiant's top tower is
Okay,
under
but-
attack.
เอาแค่คาโดเบดแล้วก็ขึ้นเป็นซาตานิกเลย AC ดาเมจ500 ตอนเนี้ย500 โอ้โหโอ้ตันติดโลตัสอีก
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
เต็มคอจะเกิดอยู่แล้วอีก5 วิอันตี5 วิดูดาว
Помогите!
เกิดยิงกลับบ้าน
Middle tower is fallen. Radiant's middle tower is taken.
มีวันกลับบ้าน
Radiant's middle tower is fallen. Dire victory.
แมตช์นี้มูลค่า12 ล้าน จบไปแล้ว เรียบร้อย 12 ล้านลอยไปแล้ว เอ้ยนำเขาอยู่ 1-0 เขาตีคืนมา 1-1 เขาตบท้ายด้วย 2-1 เลยทีนี้เรียบร้อยเลย
A little bit of drama there with the GG Cuckoo coming out from Ori, specifically targeting Cuckoo with that GG. So a little bit of a remnant of times past, you could say.
A lot of all chat this tournament, actually.
Yeah.
ทำไมมันกระตุกวะ
Of times past, you could say.
A lot of all chat this tournament, actually.
Of Cuckoo coming out from Ori, specifically of Cuckoo coming out from Ori, of times past, you could say.
A lot of all chat this tournament, actually.
Yeah.
แปลกมากเลย
The panel has to say about this series and Vici Gaming moving on.
เรียบร้อย
What a series. Vici Gaming managing to take it 2-1, and they will be moving on into the tournament with a guarantee of 5th to 6th place. Meanwhile, T1 will be unfortunately going home. Gentlemen, well, actually, Tsunami, I'm going to ask you because it was what you said. You said Poyoyo needed to go yo-yo, I guess. And
I didn't actually use that one, but that's a good one. I was thinking he was my boyo-yo.
Yes.
Okay. He was popping off. And Game 3 Vici Gaming is now something that I'm very afraid of. I think that this is the lower bracket run that people are always intimidated by. And usually it comes from the first 2 rounds of the tournament. But so far, all of the upper bracket teams have prevailed, and they will continue to prevail, at least out of China. However, T1 will unfortunately be eliminated, and that is the end for Southeast Asia. Not all Southeast Asian players, though. We still have some Malaysians, like Nothing to Say, still hanging around on LGD, but the region will no longer have representation at TI-10.
Do you think that this is a good
ใคร
placement
จะ
for
สู้
SCA?
LGD ไว้ล่ะทีนี้ผมว่า
It's one that they should
แชมป์
feel
แรก
encouraged
LGD
by, because I think in TIs of
เนี่ย
the
อันนี้
most
คือตา
recent
ราง
TIs of 8 and 9,
นะ
Southeast Asia has not
เดี๋ยวขอแคปไว้ก่อน
had like that fate on VP for so long with the solo crew. They at least had like one strong representative at TI's past. Southeast Asia didn't really have that squad, and I'm hoping that at the minimum this T1 squad sticks together, because whenever a Southeast Asian squad does do well, it usually falls to pieces post TI and the shuffle era. And so this is a T1 that I've been encouraged by the growth of over the course of the DPC. And they've got a good head on their shoulders with Cuckoo, and hopefully they continue this in the upcoming year.
Do you think the shuffle's already started?
I think probably, yeah. Back at the hotel, I would imagine it has, yeah.
Back at the hotel. Maybe he's saying that he saw something. Who knows?
I'm staying out of it.
These Asian squad on VP for so long with. It's one that they should feel encouraged by, because I think in TIs of the most recent TIs of 8 and 9, Southeast Asia has not had like that favorite, like how Eastern Europe has been riding on VP for so long with the solo crew. They at least had like one strong representative at TI's past. Southeast Asia didn't really have that squad, and I'm hoping that at the minimum this T1 squad sticks together, because whenever a Southeast Asian squad does do well, it usually falls to pieces post TI and the shuffle era. And so this is a T1 that I've been encouraged by the growth of over the course of the DPC, and they've got a good head on their shoulders with Cuckoo, and hopefully they continue this in the upcoming year.
Do you think the shuffle's already started?
I think probably, yeah. Back at the hotel, I would imagine it has, yeah.
Back at the hotel. Maybe he's saying that he saw something. Who knows?
I'm staying out of it.
Yes, okay. So Aiden just confirmed that he's staying out of it live on broadcast.
Oh, that's true.
So, for this game, who would you say the MVP was? If you could choose one person on Vici Gaming